Hi, folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. It's new this week. We're not putting out an old episode and pretending that it's new. I wonder if anyone's ever gotten away with that.
Oh, I'm sure
Maybe,
somebody.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we had
We won't be the first.
Yeah, if we had a secret lost episode somewhere in the vaults, then I bet you could get away with that. But other than that, I think it's a very fine line to tiptoe, if you will.
I'd rather put out fresh new content every week and surprise everyone with how horrible it is. Folks, it's me, John, your favorite podcast man, ready to entertain, inform, and another word that starts with a vowel. This week...
Irritable bowel syndrome. IBS.
Yes. We are here to raise awareness for IBS. With me this week, as always, is Michael.
Hey, hi, hello.
Hello, Michael. We also have Scott.
Hi.
And we also have Ryan.
Yep. It's me. I'm here.
That's all.
Yep.
4 illustrious gentlemen ready to discuss what's good, what's bad, and what's ugly in video games.
John, I have a quick question. You said illustrious gentleman. Is it okay if I'm a luscious gentleman? Because I've noticed my hair is getting kind of long lately, and I really want to show off these luscious locks on the podcast, if you'll allow me.
If you can somehow properly convey how luscious your hair is in an audio form, yes, you can do that.
Here's the wind whipping through my hair.
Ooh, I can feel it.
See, I'm whipping it
gorgeous
onto my headphones. Maybe y'all can hear that. Maybe.
That's it.
I really hope that doesn't sound tremendously awful in the edit, but you know
sure
what?
It'll be okay.
We'll find out when Niall starts messaging us, or specifically you, screaming, being like, "What the fuck were you thinking?"
Yeah, he's like, Ryan, why is there hair caked in the audio track you sent me? Like there's just a hair stuck to it.
It's like one of those black squiggly lines that you see in old films, like in old film reels when they get a hair stuck in there.
Yeah.
Folks, once more, video games have not ceased. No matter how often we try to stop them, another week has passed and the menace continues. Let's discuss what has happened on the battlefield this week. I'd like to start with you, Scott.
Hi. I've been through a couple things. I played and beat Neo, and that is a real good game.
Nice.
My update is up, or my review is up on the site. You might want to read it. Get a few of those glowing words in you. I like that game a lot. I've been through some things. It has a pretty interesting New Game Plus where it just kind of pops you straight into it. You can just change it to a higher difficulty setting, and then it starts unlocking features you never even, questioned were there before. It's strange. It's neat. I haven't had too much of a chance to go and mess around with it, but I did re-roll my character a third time, so I could use the sickle and all the ninjutsu and just see all the new things I haven't touched yet. So I'll probably get back into that. But in between Neo, I started playing For Honor. And that's a real good game. It's really good, especially playing Neo, because Neo feels like a game that's built for multiplayer PvP stuff and just doesn't have it.
Yeah,
that's what For Honor is, baby. That's the game. It's a big multiplayer melee based, similar to Battlefield in some respects. Some of the game modes, like Dominion. You run over capture points, try to fight people off, but it's also got a very, very robust, one-on-one dueling kind of thing that I'm super into. I've been playing Nobushi, which is the, polearm character that's really good at making people bleed, and she's been really fun because you can interrupt a lot of people and basically just make all of them worthless. There are some she's not so good against, but she has a very specific play style, And that's one of the things that makes For Honor so cool, is that there is like 12 different characters that all have unique play styles. It's a lot of people have called it like a fighting game, in the sense that you remember combos and inputs and stuff. And it's a lot like that in a lot of regards.
Sure.
It's also very Dark Souls-y because it's very big and weighty, and you have a stamina system, and I like it a lot. I like it. I like going 1v1 on people. I like getting into a group of friends and hopping into a big match and just tearing things up together, being rude wild boys, throwing people off ledges. It's a real cool game.
So For Honor is out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
for some reason, all right. For some reason, I didn't think it was out yet, but I guess I'm just wrong. So.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
There
been
are
out.
too many video games out right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. No, it's been out for a little while. A friend of mine went and bought me a copy because he's very nice, and now I have to do something nice for him, and I'm not sure what. What do you guys think I should do for him?
Buy him 2 copies of For Honor. Because then he can play co-op with himself.
No, it's a good one-up. You bought me 1 copy of For Honor, and then
Yeah.
I'll get you 2. Yeah. No, that's good. He also bought me a pizza, though, so I'm not sure.
Nice.
Maybe 2 copies of For Honor and 2 pizzas, and then maybe, I don't know, something stupid. I don't know. I'll get you something soon, don't worry.
Yeah.
Go to a Renaissance fair
Yep.
and make a nice candle.
Yep.
Ooh.
No,
that's a
you-
good-
Can't you do that at Renaissance fairs or no? Like one of those
Totally.
like fake Puritan villages, right?
The
You know what I'm talking
the
about.
Florida State Fair. As a kid, I made a candle, and they still have it there. You can still
Oh my
go there,
God.
and
Nice.
dip string in wax for God knows how long, and walk away with a dirty fucking candle.
I was thinking even better. We could go to a Ren fair. We could get some like very big suits of armor, and then start playing For Honor, but in real life.
Hell yeah.
In real life, and then kill each other. Yeah. It's great. The ultimate friendship is when you're both impaled on each other's swords, and you're just
my
like
God.
holding each other up and just being like, "Love you, man," as you slowly fade away.
We get it, John. You watch anime.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you know,
Relationship goals, in my opinion.
yeah,
I also committed a very dark sin.
Uh-oh.
as we are to do.
So I started talking to me and a friend of mine released an episode of a podcast called Looks Bad Todd a
my God.
little earlier in the year. I want to say like the beginning of this month. Beginning of February, and we essentially talked about all the ways Bethesda bungled the protagonists of Fallout 3 and 4.
Sure.
And after that, I kept talking to them, and we got into a lot more Fallout discussions. I rewatched all of H-Bomber Guy's like 1 minute 30 long screed about why Fallout 3 is a terrible game.
Sure.
So I re-downloaded Fallout 4. And I spent let's see, I got off of work yesterday at around 3 o'clock. I went to bed, like 3 p.m. I went to bed at around like 5 in the morning, and that whole time I spent just rebuilding Nordhagen Beach.
Wait, so you got off at 3 in the afternoon, and you played Fallout 4 until 5 a.m.?
I took like a break for 30 minutes to like maybe play some
Holy
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Fuck. Oh my God. I thought I was like pushing it, playing Night in the Woods for like 4 hours last night, but you fucking like, that.
It was a robust
little
series. It was a lot. It was a lot, and I feel really satisfied. I built like this really nice apartment building. I built a whole pier all over the beach. So a nice little marketplace area, and the top floor of the apartment is my own personal loft where I put
Nice.
all my like
Penthouse.
bobbleheads and everything. Yeah, and there's even a little overlook, like a little balcony where I can overlook the entire place. And then I just put an oil rig there because I came back to Fallout 4 and checked out the mod scene, and it got ridiculous.
Yeah.
They just... Whoever keeps doing the settlement stuff has just been adding stuff nonstop. So I just placed a massive oil rig in the middle of my beach.
It's Galveston or Corpus Christi or wherever they had that oil spill down in Texas. You know what? That's the end of this bit. Scott, I'll pass it back off to you.
But no, I spent a lot of time yesterday just building, and it's a really satisfying, mindless thing to do. I caught up so hard on podcasts that I was like struggling for things to listen to.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But that was I might finally finish Fallout 4. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah. I am. I got quite a ways into that game, but then as you start running out of side quests, it just kind of lost its luster for me because I liked the customization stuff, but not enough to spend as long as you have on it, obviously. So
I don't think anyone ever has.
Maybe.
I have exactly one friend who does the exact same thing as me.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, it's so fun, like, swapping the dumb builds we've done. And I keep showing them the ridiculous things I've done to, like, Hangman's Alley. Like, I made like another apartment building there because it's essentially like a small alleyway in between two buildings.
Yeah.
So I made one big building that overhangs the entire thing, put a whole bunch of beds and shit in there, and under it I built a marketplace with like all these sweet little lights hanging off of it. And it looks
That sounds
so
great.
Good.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know why this is so fun for me, but it is.
Yeah, I've always liked games where you can, just build stuff like that, but I guess I don't think of Fallout 4 that way because, it's Fallout 4. So.
It's not a good series of tools at all, but I don't know why it works for me.
Yeah, you make it work.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I've been playing.
Alright, that's it? Nothing else to report?
I played the first Uncharted and started the second Uncharted. The first one was a game. It was a good what's it called? A palate cleanser after playing I played Far Cry 4 before that. And it was a good palate cleanser from like that really awful, gritty, like everything is so dark and awful. And Uncharted's just lighthearted, and I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll probably jump back into that when I'm not building things.
Sure.
Yeah. That's
Thanks,
basically
Scott.
it. Thank you.
Ryan.
John.
What? Are you okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Come on, hit me. Come on.
Sounded like it just like startled you while you were in the middle of something real heinous. Are you alright?
No. I was looking up at my bathroom, and I saw the fucking the Babadook walked in, and he said to me, "Bitch, pay attention to the podcast." So now we're here.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Babadook. If you're listening, thank you very much for making sure that Ryan paid attention to the podcast. Sometimes you just kind of, your eyes, your brain, your mind wanders.
Yep.
Luckily, the Babadook is there to help.
Always.
Huge fan.
God bless.
Huge fan, by the way. If you watch the Babadook movie, you may notice that he's wearing headphones in many scenes, and he told me personally he's listening to the podcast in every one of those scenes.
Yeah, he's a big
nice.
fan.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, Ryan, other than being startled by the Babadook, what else have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I was on last week. I remember that. My memory's not that bad.
Yes.
Since then, I have watched some movies. I started.
Which ones?
Well, why don't I tell you, John? I started watching through the Nightmare on Elm Street series because I had. That series had been kind of a point of shame for me for a while because I own the entire, all 7 original movies on Blu-ray, and I've had it for 3 years, but I'd only ever watched the first one. So I finally sat down this last week and started watching through those. As far as horror franchises go, they're definitely objectively better films than the Friday the 13th movies are. So they've got that going on. For the first 3 movies, they kind of take themselves seriously, especially the first 2. But by the 4th one, you know the end of Beetlejuice, where Michael Keaton comes out of the ground and he's like, "Attention Kmart shoppers," and he like unrolls his hands like giant hammers and just kind of causes mischief. Like, that's what Freddy Krueger becomes from the 4th Elm Street movie onwards. Like, for 4, 5, and 6, that's basically him. There's this really great part in 4. It's really fun to watch out of context because it looks like the shittiest movie of all time. This girl's on a beach and she sees like this shark fin, but then it turns into Freddy's glove and he like explodes out of a sandcastle. And Michael sounds like he's like kicking the desk over there as I'm talking about Freddy Krueger. But he kind of explodes out of this castle. And the girl's like, "Oh no," and then she runs away really poorly, and then she falls into quicksand, and Freddy Krueger just puts on like Ray-Bans, and he like smiles, and then just like steps on her until she falls into the sand. And it makes a lot more sense in the context of the film, but watching it on its own, that's probably one of the greatest movie scenes of all time ever, I think. So that's pretty good. What else did I watch? I know I watched something else. I watched the second Chainsaw Massacre movie, which I don't remember if I had done that before we recorded last week, but that movie's really good. It's kind of a weird satire of the first movie, but it's also much more of a Texas film. I really like it because Tobe Hooper is a graduate of the University of Texas, where I go. Nice. And a giant like portion of that movie has to do with the Texas OU football game, and it takes place in the North Texas, like Dallas Fort Worth area, which is where I grew up. And so it's this really weird like personal film watching it, because it's like Chainsaw Massacre as like a weird horror comedy satire, but like in Texas, like where I grew up, and it's really bizarre, but I loved it. And I think that's
good.
Yeah, I think that's all I've watched over the last week. I did play at least 1 or 2 games, so I can talk about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the first game I kind of played was I picked up Overwatch again for the first time since the Lunar New Year event ended. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's not really picking it up again, but just continuing to play it after a short absence, I suppose.
Sure.
That game's still great. The second game I mentioned last week on the podcast was I played and finished Night in the Woods, which we now have which we now have a review up for on the site by me.
Very nice.
So go check that out, but don't check it out until you finish listening to this podcast, because I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, please wait your fucking turn. Thank you. Ryan, would you like to discuss Night in the Woods with us?
Yeah, you know what? I'd love to, John, actually, because that game is great. I loved it. I remember last week when I was on the podcast, I had only played about 3 hours or so of the game. That game took me about 9 hours to complete, which means it's actually a longer game than Resident Evil 7 was for me, which is kind of weird when you think about it. But that game gets it goes places, John and Scott and Michael. It goes places. I had kind of talked on the podcast about last week about how I felt like it was sort of ambling for a bit in the beginning, how, you know, you're just kind of walking around talking to people, and you know, I like that in the game. I like being able to go around and talk with people and sort of build a sense of the world of the game and that kind of thing, to kind of add on this exposition and atmosphere to this world that you inhabit. And that game does have a very strong world, so to speak. Like, the town, which is Possum Springs, is very vibrant. It comes to life on the screen, I guess I would say. But like right after I kept playing that game, when I picked it up again after last week, like, it really starts to pick up, and by the end, by like the third act of it, it's really gone places, and you know, it picks up. The characters start taking a little more action. I won't really spoil anything, but I think most people who have seen the trailer for that game know it's going to like go into some, you know, kind of like Twin Peaksy places, I guess, just from watching the trailer. And it does. It delivers. It delivers on all the promises that, had been laid out for it prior to release. I know that game has been sort of in incubation for, I think, 4 years at this point? But
just about.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the wait, especially since they released those 2 supplemental games leading up to it, which I believe are called Lost Constellation and Longest Night. I still haven't played either of those, but having played the main game, I feel like I need to go back and go through those, because now that I've finished it, I'm not only dying to kind of replay it, but I'm dying to go back and dive into that world, I guess. Like that atmosphere, that feeling. It's very storybook, especially in terms of the graphics. Like, they look like something, you'd find in a children's kind of book, very simplistic, 2-dimensional, good colors and that sort of thing. But one thing I do briefly mention in the review that I'd kind of like to go into more depth on the podcast, because I feel like it's more appropriate. That game has a really good soundtrack, and it's got really great sound design. And, I feel like that's something that you don't always really acknowledge in a game unless it's something that's kind of a major part of the game's mechanics or the way it functions. But Night in the Woods has really interesting sound design because it feels very homemade, or homey, maybe is the word. Very, very, I don't know if vintage is the word I'm looking for, but, you walk around on the telephone poles and they play violin string noises. All the cars go by, and it's very, I think I mentioned this last week, it's very obviously a person going into a microphone, except obviously better than that, because I'm fucking awful at making car noises.
Just because you haven't practiced yet.
Yeah, exactly. Practice makes perfect. There's, it's a really small touch, but when you walk around, if you run into an acorn and kind of knock it around the sidewalk, it'll make this really satisfying wooden knocking noise as it goes down the pavement. There's kind of this underground diner in this tunnel area, and you can hear the grease frying on the pan, and the spatula scraping on it, and it's just really in depth. And I remember seeing on the developer's Twitter, right before the game came out, the person who did some of the sound work for May, who is the main character, saying he's yeah, big props to whoever this is, because she put literal hours of voice work into making the sound design for this game, and it really shows. It's really something for, I didn't expect for the kind of narrative-based game that it is, because it is very much a narrative-based game. I mean, it's got platforming elements to it. You kind of platform around to get to characters, talk to them, or you kind of platform in some dream sequences to do objectives and stuff like that. But overall, it's much more a narrative-based game, sitting down and talking to people and reading dialogue and that kind of thing. And I think in those games, one of the most important things that you can have is atmosphere, because you really have to build the world, and through character dialogue, through the sound design, through the soundtrack, through the graphics, that game does a great job of firmly establishing the atmosphere of this universe, and it really lends a sense of depth to the experience as a whole. But I won't go on too much longer about it, because like I said, I do have a review, and I feel like what I've written in that review expresses my feelings much better than I could, just kind of flying by the seat of my pants discussing it on this podcast. So, go to our site, check out the review. I'll just leave it at that. That game will definitely strike more deeply with some people than others. I loved it. Even if it doesn't, it's still a fantastic game that is one of my favorite games I've played this year so far. There are minor issues. No game is perfect, that kind of thing. But overall, the sum of the experience was so fantastic for me personally that I loved it. And I don't really know what else I have to say about that game. I will probably go back and replay it at some point soon, because I know there are different kind of paths you can go down depending on who you spend the most time with, I guess, but they don't really have any, overall bearing on the narrative. You just get to see more of those characters and learn more about them. and that's something I'm interested in. So I'll probably go back in the next, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe give it some more time and play through it again. But that's Night in the Woods. If you're into narrative-based stuff, games like Kentucky Route Zero, media kind of like Twin Peaks, like small town mystery kind of stuff, I highly recommend it.
Nice.
And I guess that's kind of my personal post-mortem on Night in the Woods. Because
Wonderful.
Until I play it again, I won't really have much else to say about it that I haven't, said already. So that's pretty much been my last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds real cool.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. It's a good game. Check it out.
Yes, thank you very much. Ryan, let's move on to Michael.
Hello.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
How was the past week treated you, Michael?
It was pretty good. I watched the end of the Oscars, and apparently that was the part to watch. So
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
that was pretty hilarious to watch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of the funniest things I had seen in like a month. So
It was pretty great.
It was a little wild, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was good for Moonlight to win. I hadn't really, every Oscar season has sort of a ramp up and has a favorite, usually a clear favorite, and there's one or two others that get some sort of attention, whether it's by other awards or just get talked about because, you can't just talk about one film for two months. And Moonlight, I feel like up until maybe a week before the Oscars, just really wasn't. So, I mean, again, I don't pay attention as much as I used to, but I felt like it was Fences, Manchester by the Sea, and La La Land with the three. And then suddenly, like the week before the Oscars, it was like, it's probably Moonlight, but more than likely it's La La Land. And then fucking it all came to a head with the faded envelope. That was... I fucking laughed for a good solid 10 minutes while all that was happening.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting because most people I know down here, like in Austin, like in my friends group and all that, were like dying for Moonlight to win. Like they really did think like it was going to pull through, and I thought it was going to pull through too. I liked La La Land. Like I thought it was a great film, but I think Moonlight's probably better. So,
well, it's weird because before the Oscars, you can usually you can kind of give your best guess, and La La Land is certainly a Academy kind of movie. It's about movies. It's about LA. It's very positive. It harkens back to old films. Like it does all the things that the Academy loves to give awards to. And then, like, as the night was going on, La La Land was getting some awards. And usually, if you're going to win the big one, you rarely, like, sweep. Like, you don't win, like, 8 awards. That's kind
unless unless you're like Lord of the Rings.
I don't think that won any. I think Return of the King won one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Return of the King swept when it was...
Are you sure?
I am almost positive, but you can... I don't want to turn this into a fucking Oscars debate. I'm sorry, Michael. I'll just look it up and I'll let you know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know it won a couple at least. But yeah, like you can usually tell as the award night goes on, like, La La Land's winning quite a few. It would be weird if they also gave it picture. So when it won picture, it was like, shit. This movie that a lot of people I know seem to be like either neutral on or downright dislike just won, and then it just all fell apart. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, Michael, just real quick, do you want me to read you the third paragraph on the Return of the King Wikipedia page?
Not really. Was I wrong?
At the 76th Academy Awards, it won all 11 awards for which it was nominated, therefore holding the record for highest Oscar sweep.
Weird.
So
the worst of the three.
Okay, listen.
I'm joking. Chill and calm.
Yeah, maybe the book is the worst of the three. I don't know. Anyway.
Boom.
The Hobbit's the worst of the three. But yeah, watch the Oscars. It was a trash fire, and it was great.
Mm-hmm. Did you get up to anything else? Maybe video games?
Video games? What are those?
The bloop boop buttons.
Oh, the bloop boop buttons.
My favorite.
Oh, why didn't you say it was the bloop boop buttons? God, coming up with new terms for bloop bloop buttons. Well, I played one really big bloop bloop button thing.
We need to stop saying that. I feel like I'm having a fucking conniption right now.
Well, let me tell you about the bloops and the blups I did. I played me quite a bit of Horizon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You were playing Horizon up until we pressed the record button, basically.
Yeah, I've been trying to fit it in where I can. Like, it unlocked Tuesday or Monday at midnight, Tuesday at midnight, whatever, however you phrase that. And I played for like 2 hours, then went to sleep, then woke up and played, and then had to go and do some errands, and then came back and played. And then did the same thing Wednesday, though I wasn't around Wednesday evening. And when I got back here today, I played some more. Like, I've just been playing as much as I can. I think I'm level 26. I want to say the level cap, if you look at the trophies, the level cap's like level 50. So I want to say I'm about 15 hours in, maybe closer to 20. That's... Boy, how do I explain this game? Okay, so you play as Aloy. You are a motherless, kind of... pretty much like familyless orphan who is ostracized from her tribe at birth. And you are raised by a single dude who's also been ostracized named Roast. And he raises you and trains you, and at some point you as a little girl realize, yo, why am I motherless? Who were my parents? Why did these people hate me? And he essentially says, okay, well, when you grow up, if you win this proving, you can be a part of the tribe, and if you win it, like not just complete it, if you win it, you get to ask that question. And I'm going to do my best not to spoil not just story stuff, but like certain moments that happen throughout the game. I will do my best not to spoil any of them because there are a lot of interesting little tidbits throughout this game. So you go to your proving, and stuff happens. And essentially, like her story, Aloy's story about her mom, about the place she lives in, all that kind of ties together. And I'm sure you've seen the marketing for it, but I'll run it down, where you essentially live on Earth, and our time has ended. We went into the future, we invented robots and stuff, and then something happened, society collapsed, nature has essentially overgrown. The humans that are left are a tribal society, and there are these like robot dinosaurs, robot prehistoric creatures roaming the lands. There are robot alligators, there are robot like saber-tooth tigers, there are robot Tyrannosaurus rexes, like robot birds. They're roaming all over the land. And so humans kind of live side by side with these robots. We have established our new tribal society. And through Aloy, she's a really good player surrogate because she is an outsider. So from her perspective, the inner and inter-political nature of the tribal society is confusing as shit. So she asks those questions, thus informing the player, but also the like real reasoning behind why there are robots is, stranger to her as well it is to most other humans. So she gets asked those questions, and they're all tied to her through whomever her mother is or whatever her past is. And that's a really interesting way you get to explore this like huge vast world while you're also slinging arrows into fucking robot dinosaurs. And you from there you have quests, and it's a big open world, and you level up and you get new skills, and you hunt dinosaurs, and you craft things like you craft your ammo. Like if you use your arrows, I think you start with like 10 arrows in your pouch, maybe 20. If you use all 20, you have to craft more, and if you don't have more to craft, you got to go find that stuff. Most of the like crafting materials comes from the robot dinosaurs or like you find like sticks and plants on the ground, and you can pick that stuff up, and that'll help you make arrows. You make different kinds of arrows. You have different kinds of weapons, traps you can lay. You can sling bombs with like a big slingshot. There's that rope thing, I think, if you remember the E3 demo, where you shoot it at a dinosaur thing, and it shoots a rope into their side, and then shoots one into the ground automatically. So you do one, and they're kind of like a dog on a chain, but they'll break it really easily. But if you do like 6, they are immobile. And they will break it eventually, but you can then target... Every one of these dinosaurs has like specific spots that are vulnerable to specific kinds of damage. So like their bodies might be vulnerable to fire, but their underbelly might be vulnerable to like armor breaking. And that'll do massive damage to them. And some of them, it's their weapons. There's one that has claws on the front, like it's its jaws, and if you break those, it can't really attack you with it anymore. It has other attacks, but you've done a lot of damage now, and you've taken away one of its abilities to attack. But it's very difficult to find a spot in the battle to aim the right arrow, the right kind of arrow at that thing's jaws. If you guys have any questions, because there is so much in this game, I've probably skipped over a ton. But if you have any questions,
I think you did a good job. There's like how populated is the open world? Like, how many things are there to do? Is it one of those open worlds where it's just like it's huge, but there's nothing to do, or are there like a good amount of missions to like progress and keep you interested?
So I have 2 answers to that. There's plenty to do. Okay. Like, there's plenty of little things to do. Some of them are, collectibles, and some of them are side quests. Some of them are take on these hunting challenges. Some of them are, here are these corrupted robots that we need to clear out, and once you've cleared it out, they won't come back. And those are gated by level. So some of those are level 23. You can go in and clear these. Some of them are level 30, and you won't be able to go in and kill those animals because you'll just die. So there's like little tidbits of things to do. But I will say, like, when you describe some of the things that you do in this game, it sounds boring. Like, the combat, I mean, it legitimately does. Like, if I told you that there's a thing in this where you climb essentially a tower and it reveals the icons around you on your map. That sounds boring as shit because you've done it a bajillion times. But every little piece of this game, they sat down and thought, now what is the equivalent of that in this world that isn't, I don't know, it's an old building you climb to the top of, and then you plug your finger in it and you see everything. Like, they think it's not that, thankfully. They think of ways to make it unique and different. And the first time I did that particular thing, climb to the top of the tower, or its version of it, I just, once I realized what I had to do, I would just like stopped for a second. I was like, that's dope. That's a great way to take, here is cliche, here is our version of it. Like, you are not just running up the side of a tower like you would in Zelda, or not Zelda, Assassin's Creed. Or Zelda, or whatever. The new Zelda, fuckers. So yeah, there are things to do, and some of them are like, even clearing out the corrupted zones. It just sounds like, oh, you just kill a bunch of the enemies, a bunch of the robots, and that's true. But like, you can try and clear it stealthy at first by hiding in like the tall grass and like trying to take one or two like of the smaller animals out with your. But you can like you just have a focus, which is like a little robot thing that you find as a kid, and that lets you see detective vision, essentially. And you can detective vision one of the animals and highlight its track, so you can see its AI path. So you know, like, oh, okay, this animal walks by these specific spots where I can hide, and when it gets near me, I can take it out silently. So as you're like clearing out this corrupted zone, you can take out a few silently. Then there's like the big guy, like, okay, how do I take him out? Okay, he's vulnerable to fire. Let's make my fire arrows. And while I'm killing him, this other thing's going to attack me. I have to set up these traps here so that when that comes at me, it gets stunned, and then I can just fucking wail on that. Like, it very much becomes as much of a puzzle as an actual puzzle would. And there are certainly some of the combat that just feels like wash, rinse, repeat. Like, I just do this over again. But some of them mix up the robots that are coming at you, and some of them mix up like the situations you're in. That makes it, even when you are like, I just need to repeat this process, it's like a mad dash of this huge fucking robot dinosaurs attacking you. Like, what works on it? It's like everything about this game just elevates the previous cliche of what it is just a little bit better. And the last thing I'll say about it is the writing and the characters so far is like pretty amazing. It's just the gameplay should be seen, but the story so far, like Aloy, her writing, her voice acting, all of that's terrific. Specifically, there's a character you meet very early on, and he just like comes up and like flirts with you, and he seems like that's like Han Solo-esque kind of character. Like, oh, cool, I've met this douchebag early on, and he'll be your friend, even though he's kind of a shitbag. He has an arc, and he has a story, and he has like multiple facets to him. And so does Aloy, and so does pretty much everybody you meet. Almost everybody has like different sides to them. They're not all like, here's the one like personality trait they have. Like, no, they're nice to you, but they're like kind of short with this other person, and they're happy with other people. It's well written. It's like well thought out. Every aspect of it. It's almost a shame Zelda comes out like days later because it's getting like absolute praise, because Horizon, though it doesn't seem that Horizon does as much as Zelda does, it does everything right. It's just everything about it. I have yet to find a glaring fault that I sit there and think, shit, really? Like, there are bad parts of it. Like, certainly there are little things that annoy me about the game throughout it, but there's nothing so terrible about it that I could caveat it as a recommendation. Like, it's just, people should play this game. It's just incredible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Real quick, before I talk about what I played, we have some breaking news. Spike Chunsoft just announced that they're making a new Fire Pro Wrestling game.
Oh, yes! Yes! Woo!
Yeah, it's called Fire Pro World. That's kind of all I can tell. Like, there's some images. It looks like a Fire Pro Wrestling game, alright?
Oh, man. They had that teaser up on Twitter, and I've been just like giddy about it for like the past week, something. I don't remember. New Fire Pro. I'm excited.
I guess they've been announcing some stuff, because they also just announced that a new game's coming from the Zero Escape guy.
Yeah,
nice.
It's called Project Psync, Psync. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. And then also that Danganronpa VR game is coming out on the 7th, so that's very soon.
Yeah, jeez.
I have no idea what the fuck that is. Like, I saw footage of that, and I honestly still don't know what the hell that is.
It might not be good. Like,
it probably won't be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not expecting it to be.
Considering how anything that's not the mainline Danganronpa games is pretty bad.
Yeah. All right, so let me discuss what I ended up doing. I'm a little surprised that Michael didn't mention this, because the main thing that I had the time to do this past week was I got into that Ghost Recon Wildlands beta.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we both did.
Shit.
That game's real fucking stupid.
Yeah, I was taking that game really serious. Not really seriously, but I was trying to be strategic, and then you joined my game, and then all fucking bets were off.
Yeah, we're rocketing cars off of cliffs. We were just like near crashing every airplane or helicopter we got into. Oh my god, that game seems like a lot of fun, but in like every possible way that Ubisoft doesn't want it to be. Like, they show the footage where they're just like, oh, you should be taking a tactical approach. You need to mark your targets. You need to be stealthy and smart with how you tackle this. But like, we're just fucking like bowling into the area in our car, like slamming it into 5 dudes, rolling out, just like lobbing a grenade at somebody, like running over to the helicopter we're supposed to steal, taking it like as people are shooting it. So like by the time we're off the ground, it's like already smoldering, and we just like land it in the rebel base, and we're like, well, we got it there, whatever. And like by the time it's landed, it's like blowing up, and it's like, well, whatever. We got the experience points. Who fucking cares? Yeah, that game, I can see myself getting that full game eventually and having some real good times with people. Just, as long as we don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I threw a lot of grenades at your feet.
Yes, you did. Like, that game takes itself way too seriously. Like, oh my god, it's... Like, it makes me yearn for the days of, like, Mercenaries. Or something like that. Like, if it had that kind of, like, sense of humor, it would fit way more, because... I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think they actively tried to go for a goofy game, but, like... I can't imagine that, like, the testers for that game weren't doing the shit that most everybody else is doing now in that game.
Totally,
like,
yeah.
How could they not see how goofy this game is, just like in utero? Like, I don't know, it's weird.
Sure.
But yeah, like, you're just sitting there and they're just like, the big drug cartels are destroying the world. They're funneling their sin to the Americas, and we need to stop them.
Even like the like, if you remember the E3 demo where they did the Ubisoft thing where they did like fake talk to one another, like Tango and Bravo. If you listen when you play that game with no co-op partner, as soon as your co-op partner comes in, everyone else disappears. So it's just you and the other dude and whomever else might join. But if your other 4 people or other 3 people are in there, they will say those things.
Really?
they're not as chatty, like it's not as frequent, but they will say like they'll give you a heads up, like, oh, I've got a tango over here, so that you can turn and mark them. So it's actually legitimately helpful, even if it's the dumbest thing on earth.
There's one like bot character who like keeps telling jokes, and they're like really fucking awful, like military jokes, and it just makes me like it's like this double eye rolly thing, because he's just like it's like super standard jokes, but they're always jokes about like a corporal or something like that. It's like, oh my god, like, I get it, hoorah, fucking United States Marines, whatever, please stop. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. Like, it's too much at times. But yeah, like, if you have like a group of friends and you're just like, you don't even really need a group of friends. If you have at least one other person who gets that game, you should definitely like think about picking it up, because it is very fucking stupid. But I would also probably recommend like waiting a little bit, because like I could see that game getting very repetitive. Like, I mean, we just played the beta, so it's a little hard to see like exactly what will happen, but it is very much just storm this area, do what you need to do, get out, over and over and over again.
When I was playing by myself, and like as I mentioned earlier, I played like Ghost Recon on GameCube, so I have like a weird affinity for those games. I think I mentioned that on the podcast. Anyways, so
might have just been the us.
Yeah. Either way, that's where I last played a Ghost Recon game, and like, so I have an affinity for like marking a bunch of dudes and then sneaking in and trying to take them all out like one by one. So when I was playing by myself, I was playing that somewhat seriously. And then as soon as like John would join in, it's just like, get in my truck. We're gonna do donuts in this field for like 2 minutes, and then I don't know, we're gonna go over here. I think there's some sort of metal over here. Yeah, there's a metal here. Anyways, get in this helicopter. We can't fly it. Oh well, like, it's just all bets were off.
Yeah, it's a very good time.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. But I played some of the usual I also downloaded, there's this free, like, side-scrolling beat-em-up on PS4 called A King's Tale Final Fantasy 15, where it's supposed to be, like, the king from Final Fantasy 15, Noctis' dad, like, telling young Noctis the story from his past. And it's an okay, like, side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's pretty... I mean, it's not that standard. It has, like... It has some good hooks to keep you playing, but I got, like, right to the end of the game, and it got to the point... Because, you know how in Final Fantasy 15 there are, like... He's got that move where he can, like, throw his sword at somebody and then teleport after it so you can, like... follow up with attacks and shit.
Sure.
You can do that in this too, which is pretty crazy for a side-scrolling beat 'em up. But like the way that the game handles like locking onto enemies, it usually like teleports you right in front of them. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's not that big of a deal because it's like if you know how to handle an enemy, you can start with the like thing that they're weak against. Like, if they're weak against heart attacks, you can just press triangle and then you can teleport over to them and start using heart attacks. Stuff like that. But if you're fighting like a giant enemy, usually you have to attack them from behind. But the teleport puts you right in front of them where they're invincible, where they can just wind up and smack you. So by the time the game is pretty much over and there are multiple giant enemies on the screen, it becomes almost impossible because you just end up teleporting in front of all the giant enemies without any rhyme or reason because you keep trying to, like, roll behind them and attack them, but then the game's like, wait a second, you're not in front of this enemy. Let me reposition you in front of this enemy. And it's like, no, I don't want to do this. Please stop me. Stop. Oh, God. But I uninstalled the game shortly after because I was like, well, I'm good. Yeah. It's a real bummer because I actually thought it was a really neat little, like, I mean, it's free, it's not that long.
Sure.
I blew through it in about like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. But, if you're for some reason itching to like look at the Final Fantasy 15 characters again, you can do that for free on PS4.
Or you can
I think maybe also Xbox, I'm not sure.
Or you can do it for free on Google Images, if you just want to look at them.
It's true, you can do that.
Too hard.
Noctis pants off.
Finally.
Thanks, Siri.
Noctis hog out. Thank you.
Please. My God.
Alright, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the new stuff that I played. I'm gonna be getting Nier, so probably by next week I'll talk about that. I was just going to say, hopefully Rose is going to be on that podcast too, because she is also going to be getting that game, and she's going to be reviewing it.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
There are too many games coming out.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god!
So I wanted to
Ryan,
play
there's a new there's a new console out. Like
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We don't really have anything to say about it, obviously, because, we haven't been able to review it. We recorded this before it's even out, technically, in the Americas, so it's kind of, we don't even have the chance to buy it, let alone the fact that I don't think any of us are going to, because, it's probably not that good of an idea right now.
No.
But
I might.
Yeah, holy shit, the Switch.
Yeah, that happened, and apparently the cartridges taste fucking terrible for some reason.
I mean, it makes some sense, but it's also like, holy shit, the fact that, like, that... I don't know. Honestly, I think the thing that surprises me the most isn't that they purposefully made the cartridges taste bad, it's that we found out so soon.
Yeah.
I feel like if we just randomly found out about that, like, 2 months from now, where someone was just like, yeah, I ended up, like, touching my tongue to a Switch cartridge. Like, just fucking good old Jeff Gerstmann and Giant Bomb just put a Switch cartridge in his mouth and, like, immediately, like, after the fucking shit came out, was just like, yep, tastes bitter.
Yeah.
And then everyone had to check, because they didn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
it's the internet, baby.
You don't want kids like swallowing Zelda or anything like that, so you gotta be careful.
$60 games.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, I guess. It's smart, but at the same time, holy fuck. Does anyone else have any? I don't know. Does anyone else have any like last minute things to say about the Switch before it officially? I mean, you know, it's going to be out by the time people listen to this.
You're making it sound like we're at the fucking thing's funeral. Like, does anybody have any last things to say about the Switch before it's fucking lowered into the cold, hard earth? Like, the thing's not even out yet.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant before it fucking releases, you turkey.
Well, we have a question about the Switch, so let's leave it till later on then.
All right. Okay. All right.
Does anyone have any fucking last things to say about the Wii U? I think that's what we should be asking.
Yeah. Do we have any questions about that, Michael?
No, I don't think we have any questions about the Wii U. I don't think we've ever had any questions about the Wii U.
Does anyone have any post-mortem thoughts about the Wii U?
Yeah, you know what? I actually do. All
right.
My roommate Mike has had a Wii U, and we played the new Smash Bros. On it once when it first came out, and then it's basically been sitting in our apartment living room collecting dust for like 2 years at this point. So... You know what? I'm glad that it's finally being put out of its misery. That one in our living room is so caked with dust. It has like an extra layer like on the outside of it. Like if you drop that thing, it would not break because the dust on it is so thick. It has like extra padding. But
oh my god!
You know, it was fun while it lasted. Smash Bros was a good time. I never played anything else on the Wii U. That's all I ever played. So rest in peace.
Rip in peace, the Wii U.
Scott, do you have anything to say?
You had, like, some cool games. I never played it. I never touched it once. It seemed alright. I only played Smash on the 3DS. Rest in peace. You'll be missed. Live strong. Pour one out.
Mm-hmm.
Michael?
It's a missed opportunity. Like, the Switch is pretty much the Wii U. Like, there's not much of a difference. It's a couple years difference in terms of hardware, but it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, there's not much of a difference except they like actually told you what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that, like, initial marketing is one thing, but the Wii U could have been saved. They needed games for it, and I think the Switch will hopefully prove that Nintendo can get some games out on a fucking console, because if in a year and a half or 2 years the Switch has the release schedule that the Wii U did, there's going to be a lot of people who just are unhappy, as they were with the Wii U. Like, so, I don't know. I don't regret having one. I like having one. I wish the games would come down in price so I can have more games, because there's some unique experiences for that thing that I'd like to grab. And maybe now they'll be a little bit cheaper since shelf space is under attack. So... Other than that, I literally just moved mine from a box to my girlfriend's place so that she could play some games and have like stuff to do. That's about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess I have the most feelings for the Wii U. You know, I kind of agree with Michael, but I also feel like Nintendo did. I mean, I don't think Nintendo put their all into it. But there's still some really good shit on there. Some very interesting games on there that I'm surprised Nintendo even tried. Like, they've never done anything like Mario Maker before. They published a Bayonetta game on the Wii U.
Yeah.
They teamed, I mean, not just them, but like Pokemon Company and Game Freak teamed up with the Tekken people to make a fighting game. Like, there's some wild shit on that game, and then there's also just fantastic entries in there. Like, the best Pikmin game so far is on Wii U. I think so. The best Smash Bros. Game is on Wii U. I mean, it's kind of also on 3DS, but, like, there's so many fantastic games on that thing. Like, people are already calling it the next Dreamcast, and there's a part of me that wants to say, it's probably better than the Dreamcast was. Like, I mean, I feel like the Dreamcast ended up having more games and was a lot weirder. And don't get me wrong, I love classic Sega. I love the Dreamcast, but like, the Wii U it was a solid thing, and I feel like people are going to be going back and playing those games in like 10 years and being like, oh shit, that's really crazy. Like, Splatoon started on there. They made a fucking Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei crossover game on the Wii U. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's really cool. I mean, I kind of don't expect anything that crazy to happen on the Switch. Like, I really hope crazy stuff like that, or even crazier stuff happens on the Switch. But I would also not be surprised if that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. We'll see, though. We'll see. You know, this is a new frontier, and you know they already announced a new No More Heroes game for the Switch. So I'm ready to pack up my Wii U. Once they say, "Hey, Smash Bros is coming to Switch," I'm done. That Wii U, I'm not touching that motherfucker ever again. I'm sorry, but
I'm personally hoping a lot of those really cool Wii U experiences eventually make it to the Switch. Like, I'd like to play Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei, but I'd like to play Xenoblade Chronicles, Mario Maker. Like, there's a whole bunch of seminal things on that console, and I would really, really love to give it a shot at some point.
I would just say wait until they make Wii U super cheap and just pick one up. Honestly, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to news, folks. How about we start with... how about we reverse it, Michael?
Ooh.
Yo, hey, hi.
Are you ready for the news?
I'm always ready for news.
All right, then go ahead. Tell us your news story, please.
Oh, like right now? I wasn't ready.
Yes. Oh, well.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
You ever watch those Twitch streams?
I used to.
Oh, well, you ever watch them and think, boy, I want to play a video game like the one that their person's playing?
Yeah, you know,
Right.
I feel like playing, that's kind of like a whole thing of like the experience of watching Twitch, like you watch games that you want to play, you know, or maybe not. I don't know. Fuck it, this bit's going nowhere. Michael, I'm throwing it back to you.
Great analysis, Ryan. Anyways, well, you're in luck. Yeah, Twitch is adding both a store and an ability to buy a game while you're watching it. And what is very obviously competition for Steam. Twitch is adding a storefront, and they are letting you buy things directly while you watch a stream, and that will cut in the streamer. So 70% of the revenue goes to the people who make and publish the game, 5% goes to the person streaming, and the rest goes to Twitch. That's pretty good margins. I want to say that's much bigger than Steam's, but I haven't heard about what Steam's margins are in a good while, so who knows. They didn't really specify just PC only, or if this would include maybe console games, which I think would be a no-brainer, like to generate a code. I think that would be really smart, but who knows? And this will also incorporate things like, they do those unique codes, unique drops if you're watching like League of Legends stuff. Let's say you suddenly buy Overwatch after watching your favorite Overwatch streamer, you might get, a specific kind of loot box or something for buying it from that stream. This is clearly could be, Twitch is huge. They have a ton of money. And this could add much needed direct competition to Steam. Because up until now, like, Twitch is mainly a PC thing. I know some people watch it onto their TVs, but it's all about playing on PC and being able to just click that button and buy it through Twitch and not buy it through Steam. Like, that's, even if that just hurts them a little bit, that's quite a lot of money no longer going their way. This also raises questions about, like, if you're streaming a game and you earn money every time someone buys it, do you suddenly enjoy that game a lot more than you would before?
Yeah.
So this raises a lot of questions, a lot of ethical questions that I think have been raised before about YouTubers and Twitch streamers, and that stuff won't end. Luckily, it's only for Twitch partners, so there is a way for them to kind of control that environment and control the population that have access to this function. But, from what I've heard and what I've seen of Twitch partners at like events like PAX and E3, those people just want to sit on couches
Yeah.
That's all they want. They want a booth where they sit on couches and there's a live stream happening nearby, but they're not necessarily on it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think it's crazy that Twitch is doing this. I was like legitimately surprised when I read this headline, while at the same time going like, this makes 100% sense. Like, kudos to whoever thought of this. They deserve. I don't know what they get at Twitch. Limos,
money.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Twitch even make money?
Like a chocolate chip cookie with like a diamond in the middle. I don't know.
Someone has to.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Anytime.
Thank you, Michael. Ryan, it's your turn.
Is it?
Yes.
Gee whiz! All right, so we all like Overwatch here in this Skype call.
Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, don't we?
No, we do. We do.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah. Well, so Blizzard has finally announced the next hero for Overwatch. Yeah, they'd kind of been teasing it for a few weeks at this point. There's a character named Eerie or Ellie
Effie.
or Effie.
It's Effie, yeah.
Yeah, Effie, who is a young roboticist living in the city of Numbani in Overwatch, and they didn't really do this whole long drawn out thing like they did when they announced Sombra.
Thank God.
yeah, they just kind of released some like a web page that was like, oh, Effie is like an up and coming roboticist from Numbani, and like that kind of thing, and then there was like some concept art and that sort of thing. But they finally announced the character. I'm going to throw some words at you guys, and you can try to guess how they relate. Okay, first one, gun.
Love it.
Second one, centaur. Third one, crossing guard. And you put those three words together, and you get the new Overwatch character, a robot named Orisa, who is made by the aforementioned roboticist Effie. She is a tank character. She is a robot centaur with a gun arm. She kind of looks like the cyber demon from Doom, if you ask me, to be completely honest. Like, she's got like the horns coming out of her face, like the gun arm and all that. Like I said, she's a tank character. She's got 4 legs, big, bulky, beefy robot body. They released kind of a video which wasn't really gameplay, but was just sort of animatics, like motion concept art kind of thing. Scenes of her being rebuilt after being attacked by Doomfist, which is another character in in the Overwatch mythos, I guess. There's a really great bit where she's like helping a little old lady like cross the street. So yeah, it's really cool. So now they've released, a support character, an offense character, and a tank character. So if they do a new character at some point, I'm assuming they'll be defense, but I guess you never know. For those of you who want to know about Orisa's sort of skills to pay the bills, I guess, the blurb on her page kind of cites her as the, quote, central anchor of her team. She's got some abilities that deal damage, but also some ones that kind of are more support type things. I'll just kind of go down the list I have here on the article.
Yes, please.
So her first thing is the gun, which is called the Fusion Driver gun. For those of you who have played TF2, it's kind of like the Heavy, where she can shoot it, but it'll slow her down. It'll slow her movement down while she fires. She has...
It's like Diva, but instead it's actually has range.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I forgot that happens with Diva too. She has an ability that in the gameplay you can see on her page on the site. It like turns her gold. It's called Fortify, and it reduces like the damage coming at her. She has kind of a thing that's similar to not Symmetra, Zarya's Gravitron Ultimate. It's called Halt, with an exclamation point, and that's why I said like kind of like a crossing guard type thing, because her eyes also turn green, yellow, and red, and helping old ladies cross the street. But when she uses Halt, she throws out a kind of mine type thing that you can detonate, and when it goes off for a short amount of time, it'll draw enemies like into it and kind of hold them there for like a split second. She has a move. I don't know what it's called, but it doesn't really matter. It's a stationary protective barrier, kind of like Reinhardt's whole thing, except it just kind of stays on the ground. And then
she can kind of aim exactly where it's going to pop up, so it doesn't have to be like directly in front of her or anything. She can pop it down like in front of somebody.
Yeah, that's really cool. And what kind of seems to be her ultimate, like they haven't really released like a full gameplay video, but there are clips, and she's on the PTR servers already. But her ultimate's called Supercharger. And what it does is she pulls this thing that kind of looks like a drum off her beefy robot back and like slams it down on the ground. And as long as somebody is like in her line of sight and near the machine, it shoots out these little bolts of electricity that boost damage, which is really cool, I think. Kind of like, Mercy's whole thing. So
from what I understand, it stays active as long as it isn't destroyed.
Gotcha. So
you can like set it up and then like put a shield in front of it or something like that, and it'll just boost your allies' attack.
That's neat. I'm really into this character. I love her design. I love her moveset. I'm glad we're getting like a new tank character. She seems to have like a lot of personality, which I really like. I don't really know when she's going to hit the main servers. Does anybody know how long it took Ana and Sombra to hit the main servers after being on PTR?
It was like a week and a half.
Yeah, really. So
wasn't it?
Yeah. Not too long.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then hopefully in a couple episodes we'll like actually be able to talk what it's like to play as her and all that. Just kind of wrap things up. She's got some really cool skins. One of her legendary skins makes her look like kind of like a beetle. Like she gets like the whole Goliath beetle like prong on her forehead, and her horns turn into mandibles. That's awesome. I love it. I'm like with Ana and Sombra. I was kind of lukewarm about Ana. I'm still not really a huge fan of Sombra. I actually really like her as a character. I love playing as her, but I'm pretty excited for Orisa to hit the main servers because I'm dying to play as this robot centaur elephant rhino crossing guard beefy gun cyber demon cool ass robot ass character. So it's pretty neat. I'm looking forward to whatever they announce next too, which I guess will be a few months from now. So
it'll probably be Doomfist.
Yeah, probably. And that's it. That's the skinny on Orisa. I'm sure there might be some more info by the time this podcast comes out, but yeah, cool stuff. I'm really into this character.
Cool. Scott.
Hello.
Are you ready to do your news?
I am very ready. Do you like the Xbox?
I don't have an Xbox.
No, I was going to say I played the 360.
Good enough. Do you like Netflix?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, how do you want a Netflix-style game subscription service for Xbox?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a new service that Microsoft is rolling out for $9.99 a month. You get access to I think it was like hundreds of games that you can straight up download and play. It's not like PS Now, which is a streaming service. This is like you straight up say, hey, I want to play this game. You got to wait for it to download it, and then it's just yours to play for as long as you have the subscription, I believe. And and it sounds neat. It sounds really smart and well thought out. It has a whole bunch of interesting perks to it, like if you want to actually buy the game that you're renting or like downloading for a limited time or whatever, you get a 20% discount on it. Which is, that's nice. It seems very smart, seems very like player friendly. Still no word on what games exactly are going to be on the service, but it will include games that are that were 360 games that are now backwards compatible. A couple standouts like Halo 5. But yeah, it seems like a neat little service. Maybe I'll use the Xbox One that's in this apartment at some point. Who knows? Yeah,
it seems like a good way to just kind of play a bunch of random shit.
Yeah,
and just be like, I'll pay $10 a month just to mess around with some stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. I mean, if they had something like that on PlayStation for that price, I'd probably be subscribing to it.
Well, they have PS Now. but that's like...
Yeah.
Does that have a subscription thing? I know, like
it does. It's expensive, though.
Yeah.
Really? Man.
Yeah, I seem to remember
let me
looking
look up
at
how much it is.
I seem to remember looking at it when I got the PS4 and being like, I don't know about that. So,
Yeah.
It's almost like Xbox saw that used game sales were eating into their sales, and subscription-based services like GameFly were also eating into their sales, and they said, how about y'all go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
It's a smart solution for that.
Also, PS Now is just PlayStation 3 games, while this is Xbox One games. It's like current games.
Yeah.
Like real people games.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely a bonus above PS Now. Was there a specific... I don't remember if you said that there was a day or a launch window for that.
It seems like it's still up in the air. I know previews are rolling out now, I believe. Oh, later in the spring, yeah.
Okay.
So not quite yet.
For the preview program. Okay. All right, my turn. If you have watched E3 press conferences over the past few years, the name Peter Moore will definitely ring a bell. For the past few years, he has been EA's one of EA's big dogs, as you could say. He was their sports president, and for a while he was the chief competition officer at EA. Now, he is no longer with EA, as he has announced that he will leave to become the CEO of the Liverpool Football Club. So he has gone from... I mean, he used to work for Microsoft, he used to be president of Sega of America. He was on the E3 press conferences for a lot of those developers and a lot of those creators. But it seems like he got really into football, or soccer as we call it over here. He got very into that scene. It's his childhood
favorite club.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess through some contacts he made at EA, obviously, or maybe just being an important enough guy that he made enough contacts, and they're like, "Hey, I don't know, you want to run this thing?" And he was like, "Yes."
Like that's what I mean. Like he was in charge of their sports division, so he obviously got in contact with like the FIFA people and all the different clubs to work on the EA FIFA games. So he had some kind of contacts, and this led him to this. Now, so he claims that this won't be just an immediate thing. He says that he's working on a leadership transition, and it's not clear if he's going to be gone by June, but maybe we'll see him one more time at E3 before he leaves. He'll just be like,
I'm gonna guess,
bye fuckers.
I'm gonna guess not.
We'll see. Probably not. I remember in the press release they just said like June, so I'm assuming he will probably not be at E3, but you never know. He could be.
You don't. So. I mean, from like a business standpoint, you wouldn't put out a guy who's leaving.
Yeah.
You put out somebody who is company positive, and like you don't put out somebody like I don't know, Madden's coming anyways. My bags are packed. I gotta fucking go. Like, I got a UK flight in the fucking morning. See you fuckers. Like, it would be great to see him one more time, but no, You don't send him on a plane to E3. You just send him like, here, watch The Office. Don't steal anything, Peter. Please.
Here's a gift. Here's a gift basket. Leave, please.
Yeah. You have stock now. You don't need to fucking stop stealing the pens. They don't even say anything on them.
Yeah.
Peter Moore steals pens. Right. That fucker.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Let's move on to questions. Michael, would you like to lead us? Lead us not into temptation, but instead lead us into the questions.
There is no temptation in these questions.
Good. Thank God. Finally.
I can tell you that. You can send questions to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. That's our email address. Or you can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. If you gotta ask, it is a very different website.
Yeah.
It's better. We should make that domain something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Questions like this one from
Yes, questions,
Shoeless.
please.
I know what I'm doing. Which Pokemon would look the most intimidating holding a gun?
Tentacruel, because it could hold a lot of guns.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a good answer.
Does Shoeless mention what kind of gun? Because it could be
No.
like a handgun
No.
or an AR-15, and it's like
I
that's
read-
a whole different thing.
I read the entire question to you. No.
Okay. Well, I think if Pikachu is holding like an assault rifle, that's a little less intimidating because Pikachu's like real small and can't really get his little shitty hands on it. And it's like, but if he's holding a pistol, he could probably kill you. What Pokemon though? Machop has functioning hands, and Machamp has 4 of those. So he could dual wield twice. Actually, like he could dual wield 2 different assault rifles or shotguns on you.
Quad wield.
Quad wheel. Fuck. That's
Don
insane.
Romero just like fucking perked up. You said quad wheeled.
I think if somehow that sword Pokemon, Honedge or whatever, was able to hold a gun, that would be fucking crazy because he could attack you
fuck,
from
yeah.
all ranges.
Yeah, you're thinking like, oh yeah, well I'm far away. You can't hit me. You're a sword, and then it just pulls out a fucking pistol, and that's it.
Ryan, you got one?
Yeah, I have a couple actually. There were 3 I immediately thought of, and I'll just go down the line. First one, Geodude.
Oh fuck.
Geodude just like holding a fucking pistol, like coming out of the rocks, and he's just like packing heat. That'd be pretty terrifying.
I don't know why, but the picture of him just like pointing a gun straight ahead and looking down the sights is really funny to me.
Yeah, I know.
Pissed as hell.
The second one for similar reasons is Zubat. Just imagine like Zubat's like shitty like vestigial legs like wrapped around like the trigger of a pistol, and like 15 of them just kind of like descend on you, and they're all like pointing like Glocks at you. And then the last one, I just realized these are all Gen 1 Pokemon, but whatever. The last one is Gengar, actually. Because I just imagine you're like walking down the street. Like imagine here, let me paint you a picture. You're walking down the street, or you're walking in an alleyway in like some big city.
Fuck.
You know, it's at night, like it's just kind of rained. The road's a bit wet. You know, pavement's kind of dripping, a little bit humid. Off in the distance, you can hear like the crowds. You see the street lights up ahead.
Crowds.
The crowds, yeah, like the crowds of people like walking down the street.
All right.
And then, like, as you approach the exit of this alleyway, you just see this dark shape come around the corner. It's like a foot tall, and like as it steps into the light, you just see this fucking foot tall Gengar like smiling at you, and it just like raises a gun. It's just like got like a desert eagle, and it's just like smiling at you, and you're in this alleyway, and then you turn to run, and like 3 more appear from behind you, and they all point guns at you. And you know, that's definitely not like a recurring nightmare I've had like every week since I was 9 years old or anything, but that's my answer to those questions.
They don't even want anything from you.
No.
They just love the thrill of pointing a weapon at somebody.
Absolutely. 100%.
Fuck.
I keep thinking about it, and I keep coming across Pokemon that would be way less intimidating with guns. Like, you see a Scizor come up and then try to hold shitty guns in its dumb claw hands. And it can't hold them right, and it's like, oh, it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Kingler. Fuck.
Mine would be Grimer.
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck.
Because you just see a Grimer, and the dude just fucking smiles at you, and then like slowly like lifts his flappy whatever grimy arm, and it's like, oh, it's a gun.
Yeah, it just like reaches into the like its grimy body and just pulls out a fucking gun.
Yeah, what's up? And then the other one is just either Magnemite or Magneton. Just like, he doesn't even have to have the gun on him. It's just magnetism, and then he's just floating, and he doesn't need to pull the trigger. The magnetism pulls the trigger. Fuck it, he doesn't need guns. He just throws his goddamn bullets at you like Magneto. What's up?
Imagine a fucking Drowsy just like telekinetically lifting a gun.
You know what? No, I'll be honest. I think a Drowsy like actively wielding a pistol is funnier. Like,
Just shooting it in the air wildly, like, I'm a Drowsy.
It's got like a fucking cowboy hat on.
Yeah, drowsy,
Dance, partner, dance! It like shoots at your feet.
If you don't,
it falls asleep and then like shoots the gun like.
we're moving on before this becomes terrible. Century Punk asks, "What is your favorite system seller game?"
Ooh, interesting.
Halo 2.
Is a good answer.
Down. Halo 2. And you can dual wield multiplayer that was like consistent and online. I don't even know if that was that wasn't a 360 game. I don't remember. Was it?
Halo 2?
I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
2 was original Xbox.
Yeah, 2 or 1, either one. Those are clearly system sellers, and I think both those are those are probably games that I still look back fondly and don't think like, why did I buy that at launch?
Sure.
So I definitely bought the PS4 for Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here. I bought it for Bloodborne, and that has been nothing but a fantastic experience for like the last few years I played it.
It's a good game.
Yeah. I still see friends going back to it every now and then, and I'm just like, should I start a 7th character?
Yeah. I don't know if this is like a like a system seller game, because I'm just kind of thinking of like kind of console exclusive stuff. I would say the first BioShock, since that was originally that was originally just on the Xbox, right? Like
No.
when it first came out.
No,
Really?
I think it eventually came to PC and everything.
Yeah,
well,
but he means
PlayStation-
like when it first came out.
Yeah, when it first came out, I'm like 90% sure it was an Xbox exclusive. I think I'm probably wrong, but since that's not
It
Sorry,
might
go.
have come to PC at the same time, but it definitely came to PS3 later.
Yeah.
Because I specifically remember that because they put the Big Daddy in PlayStation All Stars, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? Why is this character from a game that came out late on PS3 in this game?"
Right.
Yeah, because I remember one of the reasons I bought an Xbox was because BioShock hadn't come out on the PS3 at that point. But I'd say, barring that, since it's not really an exclusive, I would say Kingdom Hearts franchise. I mean, that may not be like a system seller, quote unquote, but it's what I remember like the PS2 for the most, I guess. So, you know.
If we're gonna stay in that PlayStation wheelhouse, I would say the Metal Gear Solid games on the PSP.
Yeah.
Those are, I mean, especially Peace Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I still think Portable Ops is a good game. It's really rough around the edges, but it's still pretty good. Peace Walker is very, very good. And then Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only reason why a lot of people, like, that's the only reason why I bought a Vita. You know, like, I mean, eventually I got other stuff. Like, I only ended up playing Danganronpa because I randomly bought a Vita, and then I was like, well,
Yeah.
I can get a review code for this. And then my life was ruined.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how it happens.
Anonymous writes in bold predictions on how successful the Switch will be. As big as the Wii? As huge as a failure as the Virtual Boy?
I mean,
Neither.
yeah, it's not going to be as big as the Wii, but I think it's going to be better than the Wii U. So,
That's not a high bar to clear.
no, but, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know,
No, go ahead.
well, go ahead, Scott.
No, you go ahead.
All right, well, I was just going to say, like, I see a lot of people, like, worried that after the Wii U, they're all like, if the Switch flops, Nintendo's really done. Nintendo's going to start going third party, aren't they? And it's like, I don't see, like, I don't see that happening yet, because I think, like, I think they will do, even if the Switch does flop, I think they have at least one or two more consoles than them. before they go whole hog third party, like putting stuff out on PS4 or whatever. But I would say I don't think that the Switch is going to be like that at all. Like I don't think they're gonna that we should even entertain that thought, because they're really sticking the landing on what they set out to do with the Wii U, and they have the time and they have the concept so nailed down that, you know, there is some talk of problems at the launch, but it's the kind of stuff that they're going to be able to iron out. And once that, like, and they're really going for the indies, they're really pushing to get all kinds of games out there.
Yeah.
I think the Switch won't hit Wii levels, but I could see it getting close to, like, 3DS, maybe?
No, the 3DS is kind of also a really major success.
Well, yeah, but, I don't think it's gonna hit that much, but I could see, after a while, Nintendo at least flirting with those kinds of numbers, because I think people...
You're a crazy person.
Yeah.
You really think I am?
The PS4 is at like 40 million, and the 3DS did like over 60 million units, and that took forever. Like, no, there'll be a new Nintendo
I mean,
console.
Eventually. I'm not saying soon. I'm saying I think maybe eventually, because look, listen.
That is pie in the sky. Like, that is like the Wii Junior kind of thinking of like how close to the Wii could get. Like, that's kind of like, hey, good for you being positive, but holy shit, that'd be a lot of fucking Switches.
Let me legitimize my thought here, because I think that eventually, if Nintendo does eventually phase out their like handheld home console like split, and the Switch is just the one console, and they don't end up, you know, making another 3DS or whatever, I could see them making some kind of home run like they did on the 3DS, like when everyone bought a 3DS to play Animal Crossing or Pokemon or something. Like, if they do end up shifting Pokemon to the Switch exclusively, then I think that'll happen.
So, initial impressions so far are that the Switch is way less of a mobile console and more like a home console that's a little more convenient. I don't know necessarily that they're gonna. I think they're gonna definitely try to switch and make it the primary mobile platform. And if they do, that would be fantastic. Like, they have a whole bunch of handheld exclusives that would make very good titles on the Switch. But like, right now, we have no idea. We don't know past the first year, which is we have Zelda at launch.
Sure.
We have Splatoon and Mario in the fall and the end of the year. Between Zelda and the rest of the year, there's not much except for indies. Like, I think it's gonna definitely have a rough launch and a rough summer. It's hard to tell what it's gonna be in the long run, because so much of it is up in the air. Like, we don't know if there's gonna be a new Smash Brothers. We don't know if there's a new Mario Maker. They might do a Zelda Maker. It's all very vague. Like, all we can really tell right now is the first year. And that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my prediction on if they go down that path. If they don't, then I definitely agree that we're not going to hit those kinds of numbers, and that it'll be like half that. Mm-hmm. But I could definitely see it being it's gonna be better than the Wii U by a considerable margin. I would bet money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Next question, please.
Oh, I get to say my...
okay.
Jesus. Okay. First of all, I'm the question master, mister. I tell when we go to the next question.
Okay, jeez.
I think this is like it'll do better than maybe the GameCube did, like closer to 30 million units. I don't think it has the battery life or the portability to be any kind of mobile anything. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be good for toss it in my backpack and play it on the bus or play it on the airplane, or I don't see it like 3DS where you can, play it at school and have no one notice. Like it just isn't as portable. And I don't think, because it is a front-facing screen like a phone is, I don't think it's like as kid safety or as kid, what's the word? I guess reliable, as like a 3DS that clams up and it's like, you can toss it and it still fucking kind of works. If they do put their best foot forward and E3 announces a couple more games and really fleshes out this first like launch lineup and stuff, you could be looking at like a 2 million in the first year. I think they realized what happened with the Wii U. I think they realized even their sales numbers were ridiculous for the Wii U, even before they flopped with the messaging. So I bet they have some nice low internal sales figures. Probably I would have to suspect they're probably going to think maybe like 750,000 units by the end of the year, and then see what Mario can do. Because if you remember, the Wii U was like, we'll have 1 million units by March. It's like, or like 2 million units by March. It's like, no, we barely had a few 100,000.
Yeah.
They're still supporting the 3DS in ways, it's hard to convince somebody like, yeah, come over here and play Pokemon when you already own this version of Pokemon. So like the kind of switch that you're talking about, like not the console, but the kind of like transition you're talking about will be 2 to 3 years from now when the 3DS is dead and they can actually look at Switch sales and go, is it worth developing for? And then I think we'll probably see a new handheld. I don't see the Switch replacing handheld.
Okay. A new handheld or like new SKUs of the Switch that have like way better battery life, stuff like that. Like make it a little more handheld friendly.
It's hard to see Nintendo doing something so forward thinking when they are not a forward thinking kind of company, and that's also really expensive. And they don't do that. Like I can't think of a single console they've ever redesigned. They've slapped, like, the internals have changed a bit. They've gotten cheaper to make, and they slapped different colors on them. But other than maybe that mini Wii that they sold in Canada, and that was, again, the outlier, because that thing sold over 100 million units. Like, I can't think of, like, different hardware revisions that Nintendo's ever done.
The new 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But, again, that's mobile. Like, I can't think of actual, like, console hardware.
Yeah, but consider this. New Switch.
Oh my god.
Boy.
Let's fucking get through the first one before we start talking about a second one.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to the next question. We got a few more to go. Anonymous asks, your talk about the Miyamoto and Paper Mario last week made me think. Are creator-driven game productions good or bad overall?
I don't think you can say, like... I don't think you can say that they're good or they're bad, because once you start getting to like the kind of auteur theory with games, like, well, I was going to say David Cage, but once you get into stuff like, say, like the Metal Gear Solid games, which are very much creator driven and generally receive very mostly positive like reception. Like, you can say that's a good thing. Like, those games are critically acclaimed, and they made Konami a lot of money. But then you can also get into creator-driven stuff, and I'm more familiar with it in terms of maybe, like, say, a film where a director's vision will become so overbearing that, the production kind of flops because of how much they've invested their own ideas into it as opposed to, like, taking in the feedback of a group. So I don't think you can say that it's good or it's bad. I mean, I think when it works, it's great, but there's always that chance that, something will go wrong. And I've always been of the idea that the creative process is best when it's collaborative. Even if it's creative-driven, I think that, like, creator-driven, I think you have to have somebody there saying, like, we can and can't do this, like, we should or shouldn't do that. There has to be some kind of regulation on it, in my opinion. But, someone else may think something different. But I'd say it's impossible to go one way or the other on that.
Yeah, and the point we made last week was that Miyamoto, like, nixed some good ideas that were going into Paper Mario Color Splash, but if you take him out of there and just replace him with Nintendo, like, those kind of decisions are nixed by companies all over the place. Whether it's an auteur, or whether it's just some dude or some board or investors. Like, it has nothing to do with like that decision is separate from this discussion of, are those visions good or bad? Are those products good or bad? And are they good or bad for the industry? They're great for the industry. If you can make that profitable, like look at Metal Gear games. Those things make a ton of money.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't see why you shouldn't do it. Like, it's fine. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then you will say, hey, you make all this money, but also you fucking take 10 years to make a game, Kojima. The fuck out. So
I think the big thing is, like, short of David Cage, if there's a bad auteur, you're never really gonna hear about that. Like, most of the prominent directors are like, they're prominent for a reason. Their games are usually really fucking fantastic. But games are such a collaborative effort. Like, one director can't possibly look at every single aspect of a game and like approve every single little thing. That's why they have teams to work on these things. It's hard to say, like, whether auteur theory or creator driven design is a net positive when all we have are really positive examples.
Yeah.
Uwe Boll, there's your negative example.
Yeah, but he's a movie director, not a game designer. There's a big divide there between movies and games.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument that every, like, shitty indie game on Steam Greenlight is, you know, creator driven. So,
sure,
but that's different. That's on a much smaller scale.
Yeah. I mean, now I take it back now that I've remembered a couple really specifically bad directors.
John, any thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, y'all kind of nailed it. It's just one of those things where it's, you know, you have to learn to listen to other people, and it's always good to bring in new ideas. Like, even if you're, like, you shouldn't have the same team always. You know, you need to bring in new concepts, new ideas, and you need to be able to listen to people when they tell you that's not a good idea or no. Like, that's the number one thing you need to do in any kind of creation. So I think, like, you know, like we mentioned Kojima and Miyamoto and stuff like that. Like, I feel like people like that have gotten so much praise and they are so untouchable that there does come a point where nobody can tell them no.
Yeah.
And that does become a problem. Like, sometimes it does work. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that is a good idea. You do you. But then sometimes you get Paper Mario or you get Quiet or something like that. You know, like, it's not the same thing. But at the same time, it's like, someone should have been able to step up and say, no, Mr. Miyamoto, we don't need to make the battles like this. No, Mr. Kojima, we don't need a titty sniper. Like, you know, like, it's, people can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting.
All right, we need to hustle through these last few.
Yes.
Anonymous asks, why are people who make fighting games so horny?
Because the people who play fighting games are horny.
Boom. Anonymous asks, I hadn't read this one. What would happen if the Super Mario Brothers movie had become a worldwide success? What sequels and spin-offs would we see? How would the gritty sewerpunk aesthetic influence other media? Try to keep your answers succinct, since we're kind of running long here.
I'll say something really quick. We'd have, like, a whole franchise. There'd be, like, 7 more of them, like the Resident Evil movies. Also, the reason that movie has a gritty cyberpunk aesthetic is because the production designer on that movie was also the production designer on Blade Runner. So take that how you will.
Yeah. New Blade Runner game out this summer.
Yeah.
We would live in art world, finally.
There would be a Super Mario Brothers movie, the game, and I want to live in that universe.
God. I would die. Oh
it
my
is
God.
very true. I mean,
play as Bob Hoskins.
They teased a second movie at the end of the first movie.
Well, yeah, of course they did.
It was gonna be Mario 2.
Listen, John. They teased a second movie at the end of fucking Mac and Me, so you can do that on any movie. So
Clock's ticking.
That
Where's
means-
Mac and Me 2?
That means the Universal Nintendo Land wouldn't be this bright, colorful thing. Instead, at Universal Studios, it would be a gritty cyberpunk future.
oh my god.
with lifelike Bob Hoskins lookalikes walking around.
Sounds like
shit.
This sounds like hell, and I love it. I want to live in this world.
Yeah, this is a good. This is a good place.
Anonymous asks, any thoughts on Akiba's Trip, that PS3 anime game about vampire stripping? I never
heard
played,
of it.
Never played that game.
It looked weirdly okay. Like, it looked like weird, dumb fun that was also extremely horny.
I watched one episode of the anime.
Of course you
Oh
did.
no!
Because I went over to a friend's place and he was like, dude, this episode's about fighting games. They have a bunch of fighting game player cameos in it. And it was really bad.
Yeah, I can't imagine an
And it
anime of that being good.
It's not good. Yeah, I mean, it had fighting game player cameos. I was watching it and I was like, that's Daigo. Okay.
All right.
That was it. I don't
Last question. You can send email questions to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, or you can head over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like this last anonymous person does, who asks, why does all the promotional art of King K. Rool give him such a well-defined stomach and breasts? It seems unnecessary at times. And I'm done. I'm done. Let's
I have
cancel
to
all
look up
video
King
games.
K. Rool.
No. End this
I have
podcast.
an answer.
No, John, put a bullet in it.
The answer is him big.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
He's thick.
Yeah.
You know why.
I hate this so much.
I can get behind
Someone
this.
at Rare really just wanted to
Please.
just cuddle up with him.
No.
I think that's a very safe description for the things people would like to do to him, but I think we should also leave it at that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I went into the images tab and I saw one of his stomach inflated very far.
Oh no!
All right, let's end the podcast.
Now I want to end the podcast.
You know how I feel every fucking week now.
we played with fire and got burned, Ryan. All right, but yes, thank you so much for tolerating that last little bit of the show. But thank you for listening, all of you.
They know what they've signed up for at this point.
There's a lot of pictures like these, actually.
Please.
Great. So thanks again for listening. We have reviews of Night in the Woods and Neo on the site. We will have a round trip of the original Nier up by the time you hear this. And we're just going to keep chugging on. We might have some other stuff. We might have some videos soon. I keep saying that, but I think we're getting close to it. So we'll see how that goes. And we will be back next week, definitely, with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Thank you and good night.